Sorry about my whingy posts earlier today. Just was having a really crap day. I think it was a combination of not being able to drink all morning, like to about 12 p.m. I don't know, like with food, I don't think I would have been as deprived. I mean, I wasn't allowed to eat either, but that was fine. I've had a few times this year where I haven't been allowed to eat for like 2 whole days, and that absolutely drives me crazy. That's another story. So half a day I would be fine with, but water, that's just, to me, it's like air. Like, if I can't get to water, I just feel so deprived. It's really hard to explain, but I don't know, I'm just used to getting up and drinking like water or my breakfast smoothie or anything. But I wasn't even allowed to chew gum. And I guess like appointments like that would usually be, first thing in the morning. But as I said, it was 11 a.m. So yeah, I just was in a mood because I couldn't get any water or any liquids into me. And then I had to catch a bus, and to most people it wouldn't seem like a big deal, and I completely get that. But for me, it's definitely not a phobia, but for my long-time followers, you'll know that I've had issues with trains before, just because of my weight. I get absolutely major social anxiety, and that's why I drive everywhere. Uber if I have to, but usually I just drive. But for a few reasons, it was so much cheaper to catch a bus today. And when I'm used to catching trains, but with buses, I don't know, I live near a train station, so if I catch public transport, it's always a train. So I'm just not used to buses, and to me, they're sort of with trains with the social anxiety stakes. So I guess that was just making me feel a bit anxious. It was fine, because it was not peak hour. I was fine and I dealt with it, no worries. But I think I still had a bit of anxiety there. So by the time I got to the hospital, I think I was just feeling overwhelmed, and I'm really tired as well, and that didn't help. And then the bus anxiety and not having any water. It doesn't sound like a bad day, I know, but I was just, I don't know, in a bit of a state, and I was really trying not to cry. I had to ask for directions. As I was lining up, I just thought that I was going to burst into tears, so I walked away from the desk because I just thought, I can't speak, I'm just going to cry. But I pulled myself together. And I managed to ask for directions without crying. Anyway, so by the time I got to this place, I was just not feeling my best. And the test that I had done was just horrible. Like, I've had a lot of tests and I can deal with a lot, but this one was just one of the worst I've ever had. I won't sort of go into details, only because I need to explain it on my blog before I go into it. But it's related to losing weight, actually. It won't make any sense if I talk about it now, but I just wanted to tell you this one part. Had to stand on this little ledge, and it was little and I'm big, and the guy that was doing the test, he said something like, you have to manage to squeeze into this little area. And like, I didn't take offense to it or anything, but I don't know, I just didn't think it was really necessary to say that, because I don't know, I fit on the ledge, it was fine. Anyway, it was a standing up bed, and I had to stand against it. And then anyway, I had to put this thing in my mouth, and I am one of those people, people that just can't swallow tablets. And he gave me this little like plastic container, and it had, I don't know what he called it, but it was like sherbet, like it was food. It was like this little crystal. I don't know, it was going to cause gas to go down me. So it was supposed to go down, he said, put it down your throat, and it was supposed to go into my stomach and cause gas to be in my stomach so they could see something. And I said to him, do you want me to put it in my mouth and chew it, or like, I don't know, in parts, or wash it down with water, or what? And he's like, no, just throw it back in your throat, like literally just throw it and let it go straight down your throat. And I'm like, I can't do that. I was like, dude, I can't even swallow tablets. And it's really hard to explain what it was, but it was basically like a cup full of tablets. And he thought that I could just like throw it back and it go down my throat. Like literally there was, I'm going to look it up to see what it was called. I found it. Okay, it was baking soda crystals, or like Alka-Seltzer. I don't know how to say that, but like, so yeah, but they were sweet. So it was like a sherbet tasting baking soda crystal that when it goes into your stomach, I think it's supposed to form gas or something. So, you know, if you put like, I don't know, do like a science experiment, or if you put baking soda in water, how it like bubbles and, I don't know, dissolves, I guess. Anyway, so he said, put it down the hatch. I'm like, I can't do that. Like, really, I am not going to be able to do that. The crystals were huge, like not as big as actual tablets, but they were really, really big. Anyway, he's like, just try it. I'm like, okay. So I opened my mouth and put it in. And of course they stayed in my mouth because I can't swallow. Because I can't swallow things like just down my throat. And it was just in my mouth, and he's like, have some water to try to wash it down. So he gave me a bit of water, and then that made it worse because then I had this mouthful of baking soda crystals with water, and I was like, and then I couldn't swallow anything because my mouth was so full. The water wasn't helping, and the baking soda started dissolving, and the gas was actually forming in my mouth. So instead of doing it in my stomach, it was getting bigger and bigger in my mouth. And the two radiographers started running around. They must have realized what was going to happen before I did. And I just put my hand over my mouth because it was getting bigger. They were trying to find something and I didn't know what. They were actually trying to find a sick bag, but I didn't know that. And I just had my hand over my mouth and it was getting bigger and bigger. And with no control, it just started gurgling like out of my mouth. It was like I was foaming at the mouth. It just started coming out. And I'm like this. Like I was trying to hold it in and catch it, but it was just because it was dissolving and forming this gas, it was coming out of my mouth and I couldn't do anything. And it was just like I was holding it, and with no control it just came out, and they weren't in the room. And so when they came back, they're like, oh, we're too late. And they quickly put the sick bag under me. But like this stuff had just gone all over my gown, all over my hands, all over my face, and the rest of it went in the sick bowl. I mean this sick bag. But I felt like a little kid again. Like I felt like I was like 5 years old and I couldn't control it, and I was just vomiting on myself. But it wasn't vomit, like it, because it didn't even go down my throat. Like it was just in my mouth. It was just this gas and chalky crap that just came out. I think it was just so hard, and I felt like crap because I was so helpless, because I was on this little ledge. They had to clean me up like I was 5. And I'm one of those people that doesn't make a fuss. Like whenever I'm in hospital or anything like that, even when I'm crying, you can't tell, like I'm really quiet. Like I'm a kind of, you can see me but you can't hear me type person. And I don't ever want to put people through any issues or anything. But this was like this issue. I was just standing there and I was so helpless. Like they had to clean up after me and I just felt so bad and so embarrassed. Were obviously really good about it and everything, and I'm sure it's not the worst that they've seen, but I was just a mess. I had to change gowns because of that. So after they cleaned me up, then they had to lower the bed. So like, as I said, it was like a standing up bed, and then they lowered it while I was lying on it. And then I started worrying about my weight because I'm thinking, is it going to hold me? Like I'm really, really fucking heavy and it's going backwards, and I just felt like they were going to say, get off, we'll put the bed back and then you can hop on it again, but they didn't, and the bed held me. So that's obviously just a little insecurity of my own, but because I was thinking about that, I think just the whole morning, like my state and how I was already feeling, and then the whole gas coming out of my mouth, bubbling up, and me thinking about my weight, just all hit me, and I just started to get upset. I did think it was obvious. As I said, I never make a scene, but I think the radiographer could notice, which was really good of her because I didn't even have any tears. Like I wasn't crying. I just was really upset, and she said, I'll get you a tissue, and I was like, you're really good at your job. And the guy was like, we haven't been that horrible, have we? And then I started crying a bit, and I was like, no, it's not you, of course, like, it's just the whole thing. This will make more sense when I finally blog about it and just explain what this is all about, but it's just been something that's been really, really upsetting me for a couple of weeks. Anyway, it was all over then, and I got to leave at about 12 and drink some water. It was so good. And I got to eat, had a quick lunch with my girlfriend who works there, and then I had to catch a bus again, but I wasn't too bad. So yeah, 2 in 1 day, pretty good. But then work was just so busy, and I was just, by the end of the day, I was so scatterbrained. I just wasn't thinking straight. I actually said to my friend at work, I'm sending myself to bed, like, from work. My intention was literally just to leave work and go straight to bed. I had a couple of things that I wanted to do after work, but I just skipped them. I was just so tired. And I was so tired that I actually felt like getting sushi takeaway. And I thought I had the calories for it. It wasn't like a treat thing, but I was really excited about it. I just didn't even feel like I had the energy to go and buy the sushi. So I literally came home. I was going to hop into bed, but I can't help myself, and I got a few sort of houseworky things done. Anyway, I'm in bed now and I'm just trying to relax. I put some ylang-ylang oil on my forehead, or my temples I should say. That's like my favorite oil, and I'm just trying to like chill out, and most of all just get an early night and just get some sleep. I think I'll feel so much better and more on top of it tomorrow when I'm not as tired. Actually, a positive thing about skipping the sushi was that when I got home I realised I didn't have any calories for sushi. Not at all, not even close. So that kind of worked out well. Anyway, I've just done like 50 snaps. I don't know how many I've done. I'm so sorry if this has been boring. But I'm not very good at telling a short story. And I just wanted to share that because it's going to make sense when I blog about it. And I really wanted to blog tonight about it, but yeah, not tonight. I will probably get a chance on Saturday, can update you. But anyway, I will blog about it, and everything will make sort of a lot more sense. I've got so much to say, and I'm not getting a chance to blog. But anyway, I also wanted to share because it kind of shows that I've been really good at listening to what my body needs lately. Like, looking after myself, and tonight that means sleep. So anyway, Snapchatting is not getting me to sleep. So I'll let you go, and if you've watched this far, you're absolutely amazing. So sorry for the long story. Have a good night. Hello everyone. Sorry about my look. This is the end of the day Kate look with a really bad light and makeup's rubbing off. But yeah, I just wanted to check in and just I guess say hello and just give you a really quick recap of my week, because it's the end of my weight week. Like I've been saying for a while now, it's actually really hard to tell you about my week without doing this blog that I keep talking about. It's not that exciting, it's just that I guess, okay, it seems like I had a filter on those first two. This is what I really look like. Yeah, it's just a bit hard to talk about my week without explaining this thing because everything relates to it. So I really will try and get to it. It probably will not be tonight because I am just so stressed at the moment. I've just been like really crabby and really snappy, which is absolutely not like me, for a couple of days, and I know what I need, and that's to have a Kate night. I'm having my favourite salmon, which I haven't had for, gosh, I don't know, a week actually, but I haven't been having it much lately, which is really unlike me. But what I'm also having is the Cheats Guide to Sweet Potato Chips. As I've said before, I always make mine, but I don't know. I've only got 3 serves of chips in the freezer that I've made myself, and 5 serves of fish. So I was due to get some more made, make them myself in the next sort of few days anyway. So I've always wanted to try these. So I thought on a night that I am just completely not wanting to do anything, I'm going to try them out. They're so orange. This meal's actually going to send me over in calories, but I don't really care. So this is my freezer at the moment. So I've got actually 4 serves of fish. I officially can't count, that's actually 5. That's how tired I am. Yeah, so I've only got those 3 serves of chips, so I'm going to try them out. And I've actually only got 1 lunch left, which is just behind there, so I'm actually going to have to do some meal prep in the next day or so, which I wasn't really planning to. I sound like the biggest complainer tonight, I'm so sorry. This is why I need to get some sleep tonight and look after myself. So anyway, instead of just talking about it with this hideous light and my washed off makeup and this pimply thing, I'm actually going to go and lie and have a shower. And when I say lay down and have a shower, I mean stand up. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, I'll show you my dinner when it's ready. Mwah. So the sweet potato chips actually cook really, really quickly. That's probably like 10 minutes or something in the oven. My salmon's still cooking. And that's my meal. It looks terrible without any salad on it or any greens, but I can't actually eat salad at the moment, so feta and lemon it is.
Also, I had to delete a few snaps, and so if my story doesn't make sense, that's why. Also, the verdict on the sweet potato chips is they were awesome. When I had my first bite, I thought that I liked mine better, but eating the whole meal, they're really, really good. I think I'm going to stick to mine though, just because I have half carrot and half sweet potato, so I get sort of more of a bulkier meal for less calories, and also it's fresh food. But I would definitely like to continue having them in the freezer just as a backup, and an occasional treat because they're really yummy.
Good morning. I just wanted to share that I've lost over 2 kilos this week. I think it's 2.3 kilos. I just have to check my weight last week just to double check the point, but it's over 2 kilos. But yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I actually don't know how that happened. Yeah, I'm just confused because I had like Thai 2 nights. I had ice cream cake, like a lot of ice cream cake. And I had my calorie-free day on Saturday. I didn't go nuts, but yeah, I've been eating little bits and pieces, and I haven't exercised either yet. Sorry, I lied. I went to boot camp once, but I didn't work very hard and like at all, and there wasn't much I could do with my injuries. But the point is, I haven't been like exercising daily or walking or anything like that. I've barely been moving my body. But yeah, I've got to run, but I just wanted to share that.